Okay, Eliam, I've got your work up here, your web page. Now you got 6 pages deep. That's fantastic, but I don't see a URL. Is this a live site? It would be awesome if it were. If you could share the link so that the viewer can take a look. Now this isn't a PDF portfolio, so this is considered an electronic portfolio. So your link will be live as long as you place it as such in your PDF. Make sure your links are live. Also, your web and digital media, I'm not real sure what these are. I don't see this as being digital media. I just see this as 7 layouts, typographic layouts. So without any interactivity here, this isn't indicative of web and digital media. I hope that makes sense. Again, this is electronic, this is a PDF. So if these are electronic files, you should be able to embed them right in your PDF portfolio. So keep that in mind. And a little research will show you how to do that. So back to the web page itself. I think that this web page, if we zoom in to take a look at one of the pages, let's just pick the home page, for example. And we have this welcome down here. And then you have this big image. And then your branding, where you have your name and your links, are so tiny that they're really not even visible. And I'm at 125% here. We can shoot in even closer before they start to become visible. We're over at 200%. Before that starts to even become visible. So my suggestion here is that the relationship between your branding from your logo on your page and the relationship of the branding itself in respect to the size of the page it's too small. It's too small. I would say your banner area on this page, you would want to have something like that. And your logo within that banner area is probably something like that. So that when somebody views your page at a distance, they can see the logo. That's the most important thing about your web page. It's your logo, because that's going to solidify your branding. Okay. Your sub pages also are just little tiny. You got this huge page to work with, but you're just using this little itty bitty tiny area. What does that look like, Eliab? It looks to a portfolio reviewer like you're trying to hide, like you're hiding your work. That's what it looks like. Is big giant page, little tiny work. I'm saying show your work, man. Be proud of it. Let's get in there. Show a few different iterations. You know what I'm saying? But this is your portfolio. This is your web page portfolio. So one would assume that you might want to consider using negative space a little bit more wisely, whether it be with typography, presentation, or both. Okay, again, this is another really good example here, is that you've got this huge page here, and then you got this little itty bitty tiny form right there. So I would consider that to be problematic. So think about that, okay? And then definitely we've got to get a live link in that website if you have one. If you don't, then this is fine. Okay, now we have web and digital media. Now again, this is the part where I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. I really don't. I don't know if these animate or if they're banners, or there's just no way for me to know what I'm looking at without some sort of description or with operable files. Even if I zoom in here, let me see if I can get some information out of this. Grand Inquisitor. Okay, so I see the little microphone. Is that an audio file associated with these? That'll work. That'll work for digital media, absolutely. But let's get these working. Also, I would suggest that you place the little microphone, if that's an audio button, place it in the same spot on every single composition that follows the last. So it's not jumping around. See how it's jumping around in its movement? So you don't want that. And I think this last page, the last page doesn't even have one, so you want to watch that. Okay, let's move on. Packaging design. So you've got your packaging design here, and I think it's good that you're showing your die line. But the thing is once again, look at the size of the page. Okay, and then look at your little itty bitty tiny die line. And look at the size of the page and your little tiny little images that you're showing. So I think that's a problem. I think that it looks like you're not willing to show your. I mean, not willing, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's really important to see your work. I mean, we want to see your work. We want to see what you're capable of. So I don't think in this situation the viewer would have to go, okay, I gotta get a look at this. So let's zoom in. So you zoom in at a little tiny image, and the work is good. There's no reason not to really show it. One thing I'm noticing is that this die line right here is not indicative of your final packaging. So that's an inconsistency you definitely would want to address. I like the packaging. I do. I like the fact that that's because that's going to be a window back there, and that is going to be a die cut. So that's following the snake. But that package right there is not indicative of this die line. So in other words, once that package folds, there's your graphics on the side. But where does that go? That's indicating that that's a cut. So why would you include that on the bottom of the package? That's where the bottom of the fold of the package would be, right? So that would actually come up through the other side of the package. That would come up on the, and it does, wait a second. Oh, no, that's the same front. Okay, that's the same variety package in front. Okay, so yeah, so this is definitely it's a different color. The logo is different. See how it's presented? This is men's body wash, but that that die line, yeah, there's some inconsistency there. Otherwise, I think the labels look good. I think the packaging themselves looks fantastic, but I would reshoot these if you can and get back a little bit, move back so you're not right on top of these. Give a little bit of negative space around them. I think that will improve the presentation. Otherwise, I think that's a good piece. Okay, publication design. Now, this isn't following publication design. So if we take a look over here at our publication design, which is here, right here, publication design, it's some multi-page editorial design or cover, table of contents, and at least one spread, or a tabloid design. But right now, all we have is a 2-page magazine spread, a cover spread, which isn't a cover. This is saying publication design. I mean a cover, and then a table of contents, and then that spread right there. So what I would do for this is I would create a cover. This could even be the cover right here. You could even call the magazine Under the Knife. That would have to be recomposed. But you would have your masthead, then you would have your articles and your bylines and your dates and your folio information and along here in your masthead. And then you would have your different articles on the side. So that could be your cover. Then this is your interior spread, which means you would just have to create a contents page. And that would definitely fall within publication design at that point. Okay, next page. Okay, so that's it. That's what I have. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Yes, as I said, let me know if you have any questions. All right, Eliab? Good job. Thank you.